Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman spoke to the media on Monday following the bye week, now getting ready for the battle against the Stanford Cardinal this weekend. Who's in, who's out, and where does Notre Dame go from here? Going into the bye week, one of the big keys that everyone wanted to see was for Notre Dame to get as healthy as possible. We know that this has been a string of injuries over the last few weeks that have threatens the long-term outlook for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, so we wanted to see the short-term injuries get as healthy as humanly possible. Unfortunately, to start out this press conference today, when Marcus Freeman spoke about recapping Louisville, talking about Stanford, talking about everything else miscellaneously around this football program, there was a bit of bad news when we found out that redshirt freshman defensive end Boubacar Traore, who has developed into the best pass rusher on Notre Dame this season, is lost for the rest of the season, dealing with a torn ACL in his left leg. So we will have to find answers now moving forward. You know, for me, it comes simply, you need guys like Junior Tuihalamaka, Logan Thomas to step up. Getting Joshua Burnham back, hopefully can play some big end, play some Viper. You need him to be able to take up some of those reps because now you're down, obviously, Jordan Botelho. You're down Boubacar Traore. So your top two Vipers are no longer in the room. Notre Dame needs to find some easy answers on that end. And this is a really unfortunate circumstance because I was looking at just kind of the injury report that was dropped today. Notre Dame's been out without a lot of players so far this year. As of now, with the injury to Boubacar Traore that is sidelining the rest of the year, Notre Dame is also out without cornerback Marty Hour, defensive lineman Quentin Autry, safety Tabron Benny Powell, defensive end Jordan Botelho, center Ashton Craig, defensive back Charles Dew, offensive lineman Charles Jagasaw, who's supposed to be the starting left tackle for this team. They're also without Kahanu Kia, backup linebacker, special teamer. Jabron Payne has been lost for the season before the year even started. Styles Prescott is out dealing with a right shoulder injury, recent injury to Traore, as I mentioned. And then Chance Tucker also was lost before the year due to a right knee injury. So Notre Dame is down a lot of players. We'll see how Notre Dame can continue to hopefully develop the depth now moving forward and to supplement the production that they are losing with guys like Boubacar Traore. But obviously the injury bug has been a little bit rough for Notre Dame Fighting Irish to say the least so far this year. A couple other injury designations to work through real quick for this upcoming game against the Stanford Cardinal. We found out that freshman safety Bronte Johnson will not be playing in the Stanford game, but it was a little bit of positive news. At least it sounded like that from Marcus Freeman. He has been sidelined due to a left foot injury of recent weeks, was dealt with a off-season shoulder injury as well when he was enrolling at the University of Notre Dame this offseason. So he's been pretty banged up, but it sounds like we could be seeing Bronte Johnson at least back on a practice field in some type of full capacity here in the next few weeks. So you're not going to see him Stanford Cardinal, but hopefully down the stretch of the season, we start to get a little taste of what Bronte Johnson can bring to the table. Of course, the four-star in-state safety that Notre Dame had grabbed in the 2024 class, who's extremely talented. Players that are questionable for this game that we may not see, we're not 100% sure of as of right now. Cooper Flanagan with a left ankle injury. We know that he was dealing with that cost him the Louisville game. Gabriel Rubio, who we're expecting back at some point, but he is dealing with a left foot injury that hurt him earlier this year. And then Billy Shrout is still listed as questionable. He is the interior offensive lineman starting right guard for Notre Dame. We expect him to be out a few weeks, so not sure exactly when that timetable will be. There was a couple positives as far as probables for this game, so we should be expecting Joshua Burnham finally back, dealing with the left ankle injury that's cost him a few games. Christian Gray is also listed as probable for the game with a right shoulder injury, and Jordan Faison, wide receiver, probable for the game while he deals with the ankle. So not all bad in Notre Dame lands, but folks, we need to be able to, again, get through a little bit of this injury bug. We are going to be talking about this game all week coming up against the Stanford Cardinal. Make sure that you are subscribed to A to Z Sports. Ryan Roberts here, and we will be talking again very soon. You know the deal, folks. As always, go Irish.